So like I said, today we will be covering on the cloud formation. So when you say cloud formation, what is cloud formation?
That is known as information infrastructure as a code.
Sorry?
That is known as infrastructure as a code, which enable you to deploy your environments by using code.
Using
code as a service.
Right. This is perfect explanation. So when I say cloud formation means cloud plus formation. Formation means provision resources on cloud using the code. So this is also called as infrastructure as code. Infrastructure as code. So when I talk about infrastructure as a code, multiple technologies or multiple scripting language come into the picture. Like one of the thing is cloud formation, which is given by AWS. Then we have Terraform. Terraform is cloud independent. Cloud independent means you can work with AWS, you can work with Azure, you can work with Google Cloud. Terraform has support for all the things, all the cloud vendors, major cloud vendors, if I talk about. So when I say cloud formation, this is the definition of cloud formation. It's a service that helps you to model and set up your AWS resources so that you can spend less time managing those resources and spend more time on focusing on applications that run in AWS. One of the benefit I would like to talk here is simplify infrastructure management. When I say simplify infrastructure management, let me take one of the scenario, and that scenario says, this is my application, and this web application demands 4 Lambda functions, 2 EC2, 1 RDS, 1 secret manager, 1 VPC creation, 2 subnets creation, blah, 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 right? This number of resources you need to deploy your change. So what options you have? Number one option people follow is using the console. You're using the console, create resources, create resources using the console. This is option number one. But what's the problem in that solution? The problem is let's imagine a situation where you are working with the enterprise application, and what you have to do is first you have to roll out changes on the dev environment. This is your dev. Then the same changes you need to replicate on the Q environment. This is Q environment. After that, once QA verifies the changes, you will deploy that change to the UAT environment. Once UAT user gives the sign off, then you will deploy these changes to the production.
Right.
Right? That's how you work, right?
Yeah.
So every time, if this is the requirement, you have to follow the same steps again and again. For the first time, you will create resources on the dev environment. Once this is good, unit testing has been done, and we found nothing in unit testing, which is error. And then we will move the changes to the QA. Then again, using the UI console, we will repeat the steps. And trust me, one manual intervention is here, there is highly chances that somebody can pick wrong subnets or wrong VPC or some wrong EC2 configuration or Lambda configuration. There are tons of chances available when you do it manually. So to resolve this problem, one by one, you have to deploy your changes on every environment, right? So to resolve this problem, we have this solution, which is cloud formation. Cloud formation says everything you are doing that I will be doing using as a code. So that's why I will call it this infrastructure as a code. Like I said, in the AWS, we have cloud formation, but when I talk about apart from AWS, there is another technology which is very, very popular in the market with the name of Terraform. So when I say Terraform, it is cloud independent. Sometimes what happens that your organization say, as of now we are working with AWS, but gradually we have to move to the Google Cloud. In that case, it is not advisable to work with cloud formation. This is not advisable. But when I say I will have to work for AWS and there is no plan in the coming future years to move to another cloud vendor, then definitely cloud formation will be good choice for you. Then go for it. Second benefit is quickly replicate your infrastructure. Like I said, once your code is ready, you do not need to change anything in that code, and you can very quickly create your environments. I will be doing the POCs, I will be doing the practicals in front of you so that you can easily control and track changes to your infrastructure. This is a very important point. Let's say today I'm saying I want to create one EC2 instance and I want to take let's say help of Lambda function. I'm creating a Lambda function with 512 MB of RAM, but suddenly one of the admins who has the access to update that Lambda configuration suddenly did a change on that. So how you will track the changes? So the answer is, in that case, we have one of the service available in AWS with the name of CloudTrail. So with the help of CloudTrail, you can see what changes has been changed. So, but this is not a good practice that every time you go to CloudTrail, instead of you are creating all of your resources through the code, and there will be no IAM roles which you can go on the UI and they can do certain changes on that. So everything will be done using AWS Cloud Formation templates. So when I say template, there's three things you need to understand here. One is template, second is stack, then chain set. Let me explain one by one what is it. Like first of the thing I'm saying is template. When I say template, template means the code you are writing, the scripting code you are writing to create your resources in AWS. This is called template. Second thing we have as stack. So what is stack? When template runs, it is being called stack. Or you can say template in action is called stack. Third term we have is chain set. Chain set means today you say, you can say update. This in short, you can say this is update. Update to your existing stacks. This called chain sets. Example, today I'm saying I need two EC2 machines, 4 Lambda functions, 4 SNS notification service, 2 SQS, 3 IAM roles, and that is my requirement. I'm done. I have created the template, all done. But suddenly new requirement came into the picture and I want to update the same stack. In that case, the feature would be known as chain set. Chain set. In that case, what I need is, apart from above this, I also need secret manager service. So I would be adding this resource. So this would become a chain set for the existing stack. This would become a chain set for the existing stack. So first of all, I have to create a template. When you run this template in AWS CloudFormation UI or console, it will become a stack. By any chance, if you are updating that template values or template code, this will become a chain set. So I'll go one by one. I'll show one of the example that I have already in place. I'll go to my projects folder directly, CloudFormation template. I'll first open S3 creation. So let me open this in the notepad or YAML file. So one of the things you need to take care is template can be of two types. One is JSON, or you can say YAML, or it can be JSON also. Like if I go to this S3 creation, I can see this template, right? Let me open this. S3 creation. Let me open. You can open in Notepad or any editor, but the point here is when you create any of the template, it should be ended with YML. So there can be two types. Like I said, if you go to CloudFormation, AWS, YAML, and JSON. There can be two types. If I go to AWS website, or you can go to just write AWS. Yeah. Open this link. You will find all the templates here where you can find that. You can go to template reference. You can go to resource and property reference. Click on it. Every AWS service, instead of creating through UI console, you can create through code as well. So like in my case, what I'm doing is I want to create S3 bucket. Simple example, Amazon S3. See, if you want to create a bucket, this you have to create on this resource type. Click on it. You will find all the code here. The code, this code is available for the JSON format, but I am much more comfortable in YAML file. So this is the code for YAML. So like the same way I have created the code, this is my code. Let me explain you one by one. I'm deleting few lines of code and adding in Notepad. So if you try to understand this example, what I'm doing is from line number 1, I'm saying AWS template format version. This is the latest version, 2010-0909. By using this line, AWS identify which of the cloud version, cloud formation version you want to use. I'm saying I want to use this. Description. Description is for this entire file. So entire file, what I'm doing is I'm creating S3 bucket. Simply I'm creating a S3 bucket. Then we have resources section. And guys, please take care of this pattern. Like the way I'm creating this, you have to follow the same steps. If you have to, you cannot do like this, like I'm doing, just like this. This will give you error. The identification of this document identification should be fine as per this. First, I am creating a resources. In the resources, I am saying what I have to create. I have to give the logical ID. This is my logical ID. S3 bucket. This is, you can give any name. But when I come to type, I am saying I want to create AWS S3 bucket. So let's suppose I want to create EC2 instance. What I will do here, instead of this, I will write EC2. This would be my syntax in that case. All the syntax you can see from this website. All the things are available. If I have to go EC2, you will type EC2, this one, and you will find how to create a EC2 instance. This one, go to this. That's the way. You have to take type like this. Copy and paste. If you are creating EC2, in the same way, if you say, I have to create one SQS. So what you will look for SQS? This is, in this you have to create a queue, and for creating a queue, you will take this. So this is a standard. You cannot perform, you cannot take any other value apart from this. Got it? So in my case, what I'm saying is, I want to create AWS S3 bucket and then properties. In the properties, what name I want to give? I want to give JOYATRES evening 04/09/2022. I want to give this name and save. That's it. Right now, I have to run this template in AWS console. For that, what I will do, I'll go to AWS console. I'll first go to AWS, login, and look for cloud formation. Click on it. And first of all, see this window, stack set, exports, designer, public extensions, all these options are available. But let me create a stack first. So stack, when you create a stack, it will ask you if you want your template is ready. That means it is asking for you that you have the template ready with you. If you say yes, you can choose this option, upload a template file. Otherwise, you can do also one thing. You can upload that template, this template, what I have created here, that template you can choose and upload to S3. S3 will give you one URL that you can place here. I will also do that. But for the time being, what I'm saying, upload a template file. But there is another option also. Use a sample template. When I say use a sample template, somebody has created a template already. You can see the template. If you want to create a LAMP stack, okay, in that where a single EC2 with local MSQL database for storage, you can choose that. That is already available on this path, already available by AWS on this path. But I am interested in creating my own resources using my own templates. In that case, what I'm choosing is template is ready option. The third option we have is create template in designer. When I click on this, it will create a sample for you. It will create a sample by you will go to designer window and you can inherit all of the searches here. Like in my case, I want to create S3, let's suppose, or you can take any other. So what you will do, just drag it or double click on it. I need bucket, double click on it or drag it, right? Your resource view, you will find the code here. And the same code you can copy and use in your template. That is another way. This is also possible with YAML and JSON, both the way you can do it. You can also use a designer, but I do not personally like designer. So I'm closing this, but you should know about it. There is a feature, right? The template in designer. So in my case, what I'm saying is template is ready. Upload a template file, choose file, and I want to run this file s3 underscore creation and open. When you open it, you will find the s3 URL. Why? Why S3 URL is there? Because by default, when you are uploading a template to any AWS console, it will create a copy of your template to S3 bucket. And this bucket will automatically be created. Once I click on next, it will ask us enter a stack name. Stack name, you can enter anything. I am saying project resources. You can enter anything, your project name or whatever you are doing in that. There is no parameter as of now. I'll let you know what is the use of parameter. Next, key value pair. Tags I do not want to give. Stack failure option. When I say stack failure option, it is asking you, let's suppose in one stack you are creating 3 to 4 resources, and by chance 3 resources are created successfully, but while creation of 4th resource, it starts giving you error. Or due to some reason, AWS is not able to create that resource. So what should be your behavior on provisioning failure strategy? So either you want to roll back all the existing resources which are created, or you want to preserve successfully provisioned resources. So in my case, what I'm choosing is roll back all the stack. In the advanced option, I'm not changing anything, but let me know you what is the use of stack policy. Stack policy is basically where you can give the designated resources on that. Then rollback configuration, when you are creating and updating the stack, if the operation breaches an alarm threshold, CloudFormation rolls it back. Basically a rollback. Then we have notification options, which says during the creation of resources, it will trigger an email to you. Then we have stack creation options, which you can say timeout. Like if it is able to create the resources in 2 minutes, then it is fine. Otherwise, just give error. That's kind of things you can do. I'm not changing anything here. Just click on create. This is the review screen. Review your project resources. This is the URL. This is the create S3 bucket. All the things here. and click on create stack. When you click on create stack, you will see your work is in progress now, and you have to see the updates. Click on refresh. It is in progress as of now. The resource creation initiated, but it is in progress. Let me refresh again. Let's wait for a couple of seconds now, because in the background, what it is doing, it is creating a S3 bucket for you. Let me refresh again. Now see, you can see that all creation has been completed. Project resource is completed. This is completed. Now, if you go to resources, you will find the bucket here. All the logical ID, like I given the S3 bucket. So this is the same name, S3 bucket. Like I told you, you can take any name. It is not important. This is just a logical ID. But this is super important. You cannot say AWS S3 bucket any name. No, this is standard. But you can replace this name. This is the logical ID. So in my case, if you go to this part, open link in new tab, you will find this bucket is available in my AWS account now. JOYATRES evening 409. This is this. If I go to buckets with the name of JOYATRES, this is right. I can see this bucket now. But I have created this bucket through the code, not using the console. In the same way, if I have to roll back, this, what I will do, instead of deleting from there, I can do one thing, just go to CloudFormation and click on delete. When you click on delete and delete stack, automatically all the resources which were created using this template will delete automatically. Just refresh, no stacks to display, go to cloud, and if you can search again or refresh, there is no bucket. Bucket has been deleted automatically, right? So this is done. Now let me tell you how to create a stack using S3 URL. What you will do in that case, just take the next example, demo JOYATRES, go to this bucket and upload your file in it. S3 creation, open and click on upload. This file is successfully uploaded to this bucket now, and you want to get a path of it. How to get the path? Just click on this file and copy this path, object URL. Just copy this. And when you create CloudFormation template, instead of uploading a template file, I'm saying I want to get this from Amazon URL and paste. That is also you can do. Just click on next. This time I'm saying name as anything like I save as. Next, not changing anything, click on next and create stack. Now your resource is being created from S3 instead of uploading from local. Yeah, complete. If you go to resources now, just go to this, you will find bucket here. This is your bucket. Any questions till now?
Mm.
Any questions till now? You're following me, right?
Yes, the question from my side.
Okay. So let me do another thing now. Let's understand the role of parameter now. I'm opening another script S3 with parameters. Open. So in the first script, what I did is I was just giving a name hard coded. But in this template, what I'm giving is just adding up parameters. When I say parameters, the parameters will ask for to the UI. Like in my case, I'm giving parameter with the name of S3 bucket name. You can give any name here as well. Description, I'm saying, please enter the S3 bucket name and the type would be string. Same way, earlier I used resources, S3 bucket, type, I want to create a bucket, properties, but bucket name, I am taking from here, S3 bucket name. And this is a syntax to do. This is the syntax. Exclamation sign, and then take the reference keyword, ref, and the name of the parameter. So if I have to run this command now, I'll do create a stack. Stack is ready. Click on it with parameters. Click on next. Now see, earlier there was nothing in the parameter, right? Now it is asking for S3 bucket name. Please enter the S3 bucket name. I am choosing the bucket name on the runtime instead of giving in the code. Stack name, like I said, you can choose anything, bash2, and bucket name I'm giving is JOYATRES evening 40422023, let's suppose. This is the name I'm giving. Click on next. Rest procedure is same. Click on next and create stack. Yeah, this is complete. Now, if you go to resources, you will find the bucket with this name also. This is your S3 management console. You will find a bucket, right? Now, if I have to delete the bucket, both the buckets, what I'll do, I'll go to first VAS1 and click on delete stack. Also, I want to delete the second bucket, click on it and delete stack. All the resources will go. As of now, might be you are not able to relate this because the code is very, very short. But when it becomes a long code, like let me open one of the code, like I'm saying S3 copy this one. In this case, It's a long code. I have created multiple resources in it. First, I am creating S3 Lambda function. Then I am creating IAM role. Then I'm creating policies. Then I'm creating buckets. Then I'm creating second bucket. So in this code, it is very good that whatever resources you are creating, instead of deleting one by one, you can just go to AWS Cloud Formation and it will automatically delete all your resources. And like one of the project I showed in the previous stage also on the GitHub retail demo store, GitHub. So this all project is built on cloud formation template. If you go to AWS cloud formation templates, you will see Alexa code is there, location, segment, template.yaml. If I go to template.yaml, they have created all the resources. In the same way, we are creating the parameters, right? Then they have the resource labels. At the end, these are resource bucket, type, or this is all cloud formation. At the end, they will be creating a resources. This will be resources. First, they are creating a stack. Here, they are creating the stack, cloud formation stack, Amazon Pay. All the things are created using AWS Cloud Formation template. So imagine a situation where you are creating a lot of resources. Like in this file, we have more than 900 pieces of code, lines of code. And I'm sure you are creating more than 5 to 6 services, right? More than that. VPC, VPC ID, all things you are creating. So in that case, it would be very easy to roll back all the changes. Otherwise, you would mess up, like you are creating internet gateway, NAT gateway, CIDR blocks, subnets, and you have to delete all the things. So it becomes very easy to delete all the resources using this feature, rollback feature basically. This is also deleted now. There is no stack. Okay. Let me take the another example, which you can say mapping. When I say mapping, let me open the mappings first so that you can understand. See this example. In this example, what I am doing is I have to create one Lambda function. This is a type. Just understand the code in a reverse manner. What I have to do is I have to create a Lambda function. And this is get attribute. When I say this is get attribute, you are taking the role name from this ARN. So when I'm saying this ARN, you have to search the value of it. Copy and search it. No values. Okay. Okay, let me go to parameter first. In the parameters, earlier what we were doing, we were giving just a string option. Now we are giving two options, allowed values. When I say allowed values, it becomes a drop-down list for the user. And I'm giving two options. One is JS tab, second is PY tab. When I say JS tab, I'm saying this is kind of JavaScript. Okay. And when I say PY, this is Node.js actually. So let me replace with Node.js, NS, Node.js. Okay, JS is fine. And this is Python dev. And then mappings. Mappings, what it does is, in the mapping, I am giving a language map, and there are two maps I am giving. One is JSDev, the same thing. Second is PyDev, Python Dev. I am saying runtime is this and name is this. Runtime is Python 3.7 and the name I am giving is Python Dev. Here I am creating a role, AWS IAM role, and this was I was talking about. You are getting this role from here. See, hello Lambda role, hello Lambda role dot ARN. So this value you will be getting. The role you are creating here, you will get the role here assigned to Lambda function. In the runtime, you have to understand this piece in detail. Runtime, what I'm saying is find in map. When I say find in map, it is taking the value from mapping section. Find in map can be multiple. Like in my case, there is only one language map, right? So I'm saying find in map, language map, and the ref is environment. When I say environment, this is you are talking about environment variable and the runtime variable. You have to get the value of it. Whatever user is selecting here, like user is selecting JSDev, what will happen? Environment will become, user is selecting JSDev. In that case, what would become Node.js runtime would be this. And if user is selecting PyDev, in that case, the runtime would be Python 3.7 because it is coming from this. So that's a way of searching. And in my Lambda code, like I said, there is always a handler with the Lambda function. And this is my handler. I'm saying index.myHandler. And the code I am giving is very basic code. Using zip file, I'm giving my handler event hello from Lambda. The same way you create it, right? So I'm creating this Lambda function. Let me try this in the UI and then you will be better to able to understand it. Create stack, template is ready, upload a file, go to template, and this time I'm saying mappings, open. I say open, click on next, and it will ask for stack name. I'm giving that this time. Environment, instead of giving as a string, now it is giving two options, JSDev and PyDev. So if I change some values here, it will change the value accordingly. And why it is giving JSDev and PyDev? Because I have written allowed values. So when you write allowed values, it will become a drop-down list for the user to select the value because these are the values only allowed. So now in my case, what I'm saying is JSDev and click on next. I'm not changing any property. Just click on next. See, earlier this was not coming. In earlier resource creation, this warning was not coming. But now if you read it carefully, this says the following resource capabilities, AWS IAM role. This template contains IAM resources that might provide entity access to make changes to your AWS account. Check that you want to create each of these resources and they have the minimum required permission. So in that case, it gives you checkbox to select and you have to acknowledge it. Otherwise, you will not be able to create a resources. You will get the error. Please acknowledge all checkboxes before proceeding. So I'll acknowledge this and click on stack create. Now, if you refresh after a couple of seconds, you'll see this is in the source creation initiated mode. So after few seconds, our Lambda will be there with Node.js configuration. Yeah, this is done. Create in progress. Done. Now, if I click on resources, you will find one Lambda function. One Lambda function. There are two actually. This is a role. This is Lambda function. This is Lambda function. If I go to this, you will find your Lambda function has been created now with the help of Cloud Permission template. See, if I go to functions, this is my function, which is using Node.js 14x, and this was the configuration I have done, right? In the same way, you can create the function for Python 3.7 also. So what I will do for that is I'll go to another stack, upload a file, and I'm saying mapping, and I'm giving name as AWS. The environment I'm giving Python dev. Next. Create stack. Done, right? If you go to the sources, this is my Lambda function. I'll go to this Lambda function and click on function. Let me check where is my Lambda. This is right. So it is using Python 3.7. The by default code is there. See, this code I have added. Hello Lambda world. So this code I have added in this template itself. See, this is a code. Now you have to understand one thing. Any questions till now? Any questions? Okay, there's no questions. This will be your assignment that you have to create your Lambda function that you did previously from S3 to S3. There was a source bucket, there was a destination bucket, and you have to create a cloud formation template to move the code from one bucket to another bucket. And the code is available. This is the code. In this code, what I'm doing is inside this zip file, if you see that carefully, I am using the same code which I have used to copy file from one S3 to another S3. This is the same code, right? What I'm doing is I am creating a Lambda function. I am creating an execution role. I'm creating the policies. Okay. I have created a source bucket. I have created a destination bucket, and entire scenario is handled through cloud formation template. But I'm not giving you the code of this template because this is your assignment. Otherwise, if you're not able to complete it by next Saturday, I'll give this code to you. But try at your end first. Any questions till now?
So if we go back to your code where you've got the get attribute.
Mapping.
Map, yes, the mappings, yeah. Yeah, you see that get attribute within the Lambda function. You put the Amazon resource number, hello Lambda role.arn.
Yeah. Hello Lambda role is this.
Yeah. So why did you add the dots ARN to the attributes to that role?
ARN is basically when we attach a role, to Lambda function, you have to give the ARN also. So let me tell you what is ARN. ARN is Amazon resource name.
Number, yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm asking is, so you have to include that .arn to the back of the role where you write the code.
Right. Let's suppose you are not doing it with this name or another name, then also you have to add the ARN.
All right. Okay. All right.
So ARN, how you will get the ARN? If you go to users, like in my case, what user I'm using, just let's suppose this is the user, Gaurav user. So how you will get the ARN of it? This is user ARN.
Yeah.
So this value we have to use it. So ARN is everywhere. If you go to AWS console or AWS like in function, this Lambda function itself has ARN. So this is a uniquely identified value.
Yeah, no, what I'm trying to understand is, so for that get attribute within the code, you have to put the .arn to the back of it.
Right. This is
no, I'm asking you. I said, do you have to put the .arn to the back of it?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let me complete one more thing. This is a way to create a Lambda function in this script. If I open this script, create Lambda. Yeah, this is another way to do it. That way is also fine. Using this braces, this is kind of, you can say, JSON. And one more thing, like you are not comfortable with YAML, in that case, you can do one thing. You can just copy this content and go to internet and type YAML to JSON converter. Basic best YAML to this. YAML to JSON. Just copy your YAML file. It will give you the JSON format. That also you can do. Copy. It will do the same thing for you. And vice versa is also possible. JSON to YAML is also possible. Any questions till now?
All good for me.
Okay. Let's cover one more thing, then we will close the today's session. And that will take probably 15-20 minutes more. So one of the things I say to you that chain sets, right? Chain set is very important feature. So what I'm doing is in the chain set, let's take the example of S3 itself. So today I say I have to create a S3 bucket. This was the code that I'm taking. That's fine. Let me go to AWS console. Let me close all this. Go to cloud permission stack. Let me delete this stack. Delete and delete. Refresh. no stacks, right? Let me create a stack again for S3, upload a file, go to S3 creation and click on next, enter stack name, web, no parameters, next, create stack. This is being started now. Let's wait for a couple of seconds. Let me refresh. Yes, this is done. Now the requirement is, like I said, I have to extend my stack now. What I want to do is, I want to create one SQS or one EC2 under the same template. Under the same template, I want to create SQS. So let me copy the code for it. Copy the code and add the code to same. You have created a SQS queue with type is AWS SQS queue. Properties, I'm saying delay seconds of 0 seconds. Message retention period is 345600. How I'm taking these values? Just go to AWS Cloud Formation. Go to this and click on overview. Close this instance. Go to this instance, docs.aws.amazon, and go to sample templates. Or you can do one thing, template reference. You can go and resource and property reference. I want to create SQL, simple queue service. SQL. This is Amazon SQL. I want to create queue. So queue syntax I want to get for YAML. This is the reason I am taking AWS SQL queue. The rest of the properties are optional. But if I copy these properties, you can do like this. Properties. What I'm saying is content-based duplication. I'm not having this property. Duplication scope, no. Delay seconds, integer value. That's why I'm giving 0. Message retention period, I'm giving 3, 4, 5, 600. Why? If you go to this property, which was that? Message retention period, click on it. You will find the number of seconds that Amazon SQS retain a message. It is 1 minute to 14 days. So the default value is 3, 4, 5, 600 seconds. That means 4 days. But if you want to extend it to 8 days, you will multiply this value by 2. Simple calculation. If you, in case you want to give as 14 days, you will write 1209600. That is the reason I have given the value is 345600. Then queue name. Queue name I am giving here is my PIS intraday queue. I'm giving this. PIS intraday queue. Visibility timeout is 0. When I go to visibility timeout also, you can see the details. Click on it. Visibility timeout, the length of time during which a message will be unavailable after a message delivered from the queue. This means there can be a situation where your message can process multiple times also, right? So that is the reason I'm giving a default visibility timeout value. So this will make sure your message will be unavailable once a message is delivered from the queue. So this I'm giving as a 0, no problem in that. I'm just deleting all properties. What my main focus is, now I want to add this SQS queue in the same stack what I created earlier. So let me save it again with the name of S3 creation. What I will do now, I'll go to same template in the cloud formation. I'll go to stack actions and click on create change set. Create change set for current task, current stack. Click on it. Then it will ask for if you want to use a new template or the replace existing. I will say replace existing template. When I say replace, it will ask same thing again to me, upload a template file. Go to your template. I am giving S3 creation, same template, and click on open. And click on next. When you click on next, earlier it was asking for name of the template, name of the stack you want to give. Now it is not giving any option to me because why? Because I am creating a stack on it, chain set on it. And when you're creating a chain set, the name, it already knows the name, right? So in that case, what I'm giving is I'm not giving any parameters. Click on next and next and create chain set. Earlier it was create stack, now it is create chain set. Once you click on it, it will ask like what name you want to give to this. So I am giving chain set name is adding SQS queue. Adding SQS queue for the PIS intraday queue in the existing queue. And click on create change stack. Once you click on it, what LU is just giving? Adding SQS queue at change failed to satisfy constraint member must satisfy regular expression this. Okay, let me try again. Create change set. Space, I think it is not taking. I'm removing the space. Yeah, this time it is taking. Now, if you see the status, it is being create pending. After few seconds, it will be complete. See, create complete. But till this moment of time, it is not executed. It has just created a create stack for you. But till the time, it is not executed. That is the reason you are getting the option to execute it manually. But before executing this, it is giving you option that you can preview your changes. Like it is saying you have done the addition for SQS queue. If you see this carefully, there was already an entry for S3, right? S3 bucket. Now you did create a SQS queue. That is why it is giving you this changes that you are doing the addition of SQS queue. This is the resource type. These are the details. Also, you can see the template. If you click on the template, you can see the template. template is updated now. Same template, right? You can see here all details. You can see here, right? Now you have to execute it. When you click on execute, it will ask for you want to roll back all stack resources in case something goes bad. Yes, I want to take the same. Roll back all stack resources. Execute, change set. Now you will see update in progress. Earlier it was in create in progress. Now it is update in progress. Your earlier resource was created at 19:10, 10 minutes back from this time. And now this has been started at 19:20, just now. Refresh it. So your queue creation is in being create in progress now. Let's wait for a couple of seconds. Then your queue will be created. If you refresh it now, still in progress. Let's wait for a couple of seconds more. Yeah, update complete. If you now go to resources, you'll see there is one bucket. Also, there is a queue. So queue, how you can see that queue? Go to your SQS queue, simple queue service, and find this name. What was the name? PIS intraday queue. Yes, intraday queue. See, this is created by 9/4, just now, 1920. So that way you can create a chain set also. Now this is your final template, latest template. You can also click on the view in designer. It will start giving you like this. Whatever searches you are using, you can extend that also. Like if I have to create one more item, why it is showing out of date? Hit refresh. To be honest, this is I don't prefer this stuff adding just like if I have to add IAM role, access to your group or policy or role. I'll just drag it automatically. It will add the code in same template. Any questions till now?
Yeah, I was going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Where can, there should be deletion policy. Where can you find that within the stacks? Let's say you want to debug to find out, instead of rolling back, or you want to find out what led to rollback. Where can you trigger that deletion policy?
You want to create a, I didn't get your question.
Okay. When you deploy stacks, yeah, in CloudFormation, and during the deployment, you obviously there happens to be an issue with your code, and you have to it does roll back to the most recent version that is working. But if you want to retain, for you to be able to debug to find out what led to that rollback, how can you? There should be an option where you can set deletion policy.
Yes, yes. Deletion policy is one of the attribute that you can use. Uh, if I open this, yeah, this is the place you can use deletion policy. Deletion policy. There are three deletion policy, I believe. You have to use it retain. So let me give you details, but I'm not sure about the exact naming convention, but deletion policy cloud formation. So this is attribute of deletion policies. It has three values. If I go to this retain, uh, I want to see that three values. It has three values. I know about it. Deletion policy. You have to define it. Like in some of the cases, you know about it. You're creating two of the AWS resources, but you are somehow sure that there might not be a problem in my simple area. Like if you're creating one S3 bucket and one you are creating a system manager or secret manager code. So you are not sure about the secret manager code, but you are sure about the S3. So in that case, what property you will set here? Deletion policy retain. So what it says, deletion policy retain. Let's suppose you're deleting the resources, still your S3 bucket will not be deleted in that case.
Or could it be inside in the user interface itself to trigger? Or does it have to be enabled?
So by default, if you don't have the deletion, it will delete. But if you are giving that option to retain, it will retain the values for you. But in the case of RDS instance, it has a different properties. In case of S3, it has the retain properties. So you have to check accordingly which deletion policy you want to use. What is your question, Victor?
Now, what I'm saying is, within, if you go to the cloud formation itself, one of the stacks, do you have to enable the deletion policy or termination control? Do you have to enable that before you deploy your code? You know, what I'm saying is, let's say there's an issue while you deploy your stacks, and instead of the stack will roll back to the most recent code that is working, and you won't be able to check or debug what led to that code failure. So for you to be able to troubleshoot, to find out what led to that, you have to enable a deletion policy to retain it so that you'll be able to see, to be able to find out what could have led to the issue. So what I'm asking is, within the CloudFormation Deployment Center, do you have to trigger that deletion policy? Do you have to enable it, or how do you get to that?
No. Once you are just adding the attribute that to the resources, like in my case for S3, I'm giving deletion policy. There is no role of it. There is, if I go to cloud formation, there is no role of it. Let me create a when I go to create stack, new resources, file. So I'm giving This is you are asking about, right? Stack deletion.
Yeah, so if we check all those advanced, what's it be there? Pretty sure. Termination control. I think that's the one at the bottom.
This one you are asking?
Now, if you go to the bottom, if you scroll down to the bottom, you see that termination protection. Okay, that's accidental delete.
Accidentally deleted.
Oh, no, not this one,
so,
not this one,
yeah.
not this one. So if you look at the stack policy,
yeah.
Not that one.
Position document that defines the update action that can be performed on designated resources.
Probably rollback configuration then.
This thing I never tried for the stack policy, but according to name, what it is saying that this is one of the policy that you can use during the update. Let's suppose today you say you are creating some important resources on the cloud. And if you are saying no stack policy, anybody can come and update it, right? If they have the admin control.
Yeah.
But you want to create a stack policies, what can be updated, what cannot be. In that case, you have to create your own policy, stack policy.
Okay. What about the rollback? For the rollback, you know, when the rolls back, you will be able to debug what led to the rollback, what failure occurred before it led to that. So within the advanced options, if you scroll down just below the stack policy, there should be a rollback policy.
I'm not sure, but if you see the stack failure options in the above part, this might be a useful. Like you want to roll back old resources or you want to preserve successfully provision resources. Else you need to see the logs. Like in my case, how can I see the logs if I am creating the same bucket again? Let me try to do that. Click on next and create stack. So it will give me status reason also. Let me see. This is rollback.
Yeah.
And this is the reason. Why? Because this bucket already exists. You will find all the reasons here.
Status. Okay. So that's great.
This is automatically rollback. Now, because you have chosen that option, now rollback in progress. It is automatically deleting the resources, whatever you have created. Otherwise, you have to click on delete and all, right? So by default, when you choose that option, it will delete your resources. Delete complete now.
Yeah.
I think we are good for today. The only thing I want to give you of the assignments that you need to do by your own. First assignment is create a Lambda function scenario. Copy from source to destination Lambda through cloud permission template. Second is in the real time application, this will never be a scenario for you to run the stack from there, from AWS console. What you have to do is integrate cloud permission templates to Git workflows and invoke Git workflow that will automatically invoke cloud permission templates. And the second part is most critical part. It would help lot of scenarios to be covered, and when you actually do it, you will learn a lot of things. Integrate cloud permission templates to Git workflows and then invoke Git workflow that will automatically invoke cloud permission template. These two assignments you have to complete it, and this is easily available over the internet. But you have to just use it, because once you do the practice, you will learn so many new things. And your concept will become stronger and stronger once you do the code hands-on. I will be sharing this in the WhatsApp group. Let me stop the recording now.